Hello everybody, my name is Elisha Abate and I am an entrepreneur, an educator, and a thought leader in the spaces of the future of work and digital transformation. And I, like you, find myself in this moment of massive disruption and massive uncertainty in terms of health, in terms of society, in terms of our family lives, and in terms of work and our businesses. And one of the questions that I keep coming back to is, what do we need to do to not only shore up our businesses for survival, but help them move beyond that survival mode and into a place of thriving? And since my work around the future of work really boils down to answering two questions, right? One is, how might we empower people's success in the face of absolute uncertainty? And how might we empower organizations' success in the face of massive disruption? I thought I would bring some of what I've learned to the table to help shape your thinking about what to do with your own businesses. So the first thing, when we're thinking about this massive disruption, there are three things that I find will help us thrive in the face of uncertainty. The first is mindset, the second is education, and the third one is collaboration. So as we look at strategies to handle what's happening right now, the first one is mindset. And under mindset, it's a super clear distinction. Are you going to be captive to your circumstances, to what's happening right now, or are you going to be captain of your destiny and step into the protagonist's role? Captive to your circumstances is, why is this happening to me? I wish this wouldn't happen. Woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. Versus stepping into the captain's chair and asking ourselves that effective question, given that we're here, since this is happening, what do we want to create? And building from that place. If we can get ourselves into that mindset, almost everything else falls into place. If you commit that your business is going to grow through this, then that's the space where you need to be. The second piece is education. And looking at, and in this case, it's education in terms of what your business model is. It's an evaluation of where you are, what you're doing, and if you need to pivot right now. If you haven't had a good look at your numbers in the last who knows amount of time, now is a great time to do that. If you're not familiar with your cash flow, what's coming in and what's coming out, get down to your numbers. So that first of all, you can do that shoring up piece, but second of all, you can see what it is that you can invest in. And then additionally, under this education piece, it's looking at educating yourself about what's going on in the marketplace and looking for places where the core components of your business can add value. Now is the time to add massive value. And even if it wasn't necessarily inside of your core business before, now is a great time to do it. I mean, last weekend, as an example, I put on an online series of conversations to help people create answers to the question, how might we thrive in the face of uncertainty? My business is not, or hasn't been, creating online events and producing them and being an online interviewer, but because that was a place where who I knew could add value to the whole, that was something that ended up working for me. So educate yourself on where are the places where the elements of your business could be able to add value in traditional and non-traditional ways. And then thirdly is a component of collaboration. If the only way out is through, then we're going to need to go through this together. And this invites a moment of thinking and rethinking collaboration from a market level. So who is my competition, air quotes competition, and how might we be able to partner in order to thrive in the face of this uncertainty? The second piece is looking at your organization. Whether you are a one-person organization, two-person organization, or a massive hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of people, you want to look at how you structure, moving away from a pyramid structure, hierarchy, fixed boxes, and shifting into an infinity model, a much more flexible, a much more agile model, where today, because we're working on a certain kind of project, we'll say about the future of work, I would be the boss, but tomorrow, because we're looking at finance and investment banking, you would be the boss, and have this agility to have our team collaborate in different ways. And then finally, looking at how we collaborate individually. So if you're a solopreneur or you're just starting your business out, now is the time to be building your community and discovering what are the aptitudes of the people around you. so that you can bid for bigger contracts, so that you can support each other in creating more business as you move forward. But there's another really important reason to look at this component of collaborating individually. I certainly have found that right now is a time where a lot of us are feeling lonely. And so collaboration isn't just for products and projects, but it's for connecting with each other, checking in, making sure people are okay. How are you doing? How's your life? How can I help you and be present for you? And this is the kind of thing that has lasting value that goes beyond whatever might be happening in your business. So those are 3 big strategies that I look at: mindset, education, and collaboration. Now the question, how can you utilize this time to help your business refine its story? Well, now is a time, all bets are off right now. The assumptions that we had about how our business model was going to work, how our revenue streams were going to function, unless we were already a business that was 100% online, which some people are, and that's great. Now's the time for you to capitalize on that. But really looking at, if you were under the operating assumption that the next 18 to 24 months you would never be able to be in contact with another human being again, how might you need to shift your business model? And this is a time where a distinction between being right about your assumptions versus being resilient and thriving in the marketplace is really important. So now's the time to strip down your assumptions about what is or isn't possible and ask yourself, like there's a restaurant in New York City which can no longer serve as a restaurant because they're on lockdown. However, it has turned itself into a gourmet grocery store to be able to sell the back stock that it has and provide for people, still stay open, still be a presence in the community, and still generate revenue. So how can you shift what it is that you're doing to refine your story? And then finally looking at this idea of what can you do to make the most of your time since you're away from business as usual. What can you do? Well, first, here's the scoop. Many of us have been asking for, in our rumblings and complainings, more time at home, off the road. I travel too much. I just want to stay home for a couple of weeks and not have to go anywhere. Well, guess what? That time's here. I've been wanting more time with my spouse, with my kids. Guess what? Now you've got hours and hours and hours and days. It just didn't come in the way that you thought it was going to. So relish this fact that you have the opportunity to have the things that you have been asking for months or years, if not more. Secondly, to make the most of this time, measure everything that you're doing. A lot of companies are experiencing a forced remote work situation for the first time. And in the past, maybe you've had challenges or questions or assumptions about why this is or isn't going to work. Now is the time to look at, is it working? Could we make this work on a scalable level? What's the impact for our operational expenses or CapEx as we look forward for this strategy? Measure what productivity looks like at a distance. Look at the different ways that people are finding to collaborate, because these are going to be applicable not only now, but as business moves forward, because we're not going to be able to stuff business back into the box that we just left. We're not going to go back to things as they were. There's going to be a new way of doing things. So how might you utilize everything that's happening now to better serve your clients, to add more value, and to create more space, revenue growth for yourself and your teams? And then finally, this is a moment to really look at strategy. So in these first moments of crisis, everybody's thinking is on, how am I going to handle this? How can I get things to settle down? I'm so confused. I'm so scared. And so now is not the moment necessarily to take note, travel companies, sell me the new luggage that you want me to sell or the brand new vacation that you want me to travel on in this space, right? But now's a great time to think and rethink in this new reality that's forming. By the way, we are in choice to create it right now. Evaluating your strategy from a public, a private, and a pocket point of view. The public strategy is a thing that you're communicating out there to the world for everybody to see and hear. The private strategy is a strategy that you and your board and a couple of other folks who are of confidence have, but your pocket strategy is really what you're up to. So with that in mind, What kind of transformation can you make in the world with this pocket strategy while you're in this period of hibernating? Business can look like it is as usual out here in the front, but what might you be able to be creating in this meantime behind the scenes that when things settle and people are ready to come back into the marketplace, you can be there to serve them in ways that you've never been able to serve before, and that will just blow them out of the water. So that's it. We are in this moment of massive disruption, and it can feel scary. It can feel unknown and unknowing. With that said, if you can take some of these tools and some of this structure to help you shape your thinking, we'll all get through this together and come out better on the other side. See you all soon.